What's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Samuel Leggett here representing Team JVS. I'm back here again for another movie review. The name of this movie is called Ammonite. The synopsis reads, in 1840s England, an acclaimed but overlooked fossil hunter, Mary Anning, and a young woman sent to, I don't want to spoil this part, is sent with her and helping her to excavate. They develop an intense friendship, altering both their lives forever. Now, this is starring Kate Winslet and Saoirse Ronan. Ronan is playing the role of the woman. Her name is Charlotte. Charlotte is battling a deep depression. There's some hidden things that's plotted as far as the scripting for this one when it comes to why she is such a downward spiral, but you can also very avidly tell with her relationship with her husband that there is definitely something amiss, and it's in conjunction to something that's missing there, or something that happened that altered her to be in this state. Now, when it comes to the dissection of Kate Winslet's Mary, she seems like she's got a chip on her shoulder. She seems like she's very focused on trying to excavate and trying to find fossils by any means necessary, but she has a lot of tomboy tendencies. She very much so is kind of like doing her own thing, kind of like, I don't know how to really describe it, but she, you know, doesn't use like a napkin to wipe her nose. She'll use her skirt. Like, she'll go and get into the mud and get into the ground and do what she needs to do. She'll go and do things that, you know, are not ladylike to get whatever she needs done. And to be honest with you, I think Kate Winslet, she definitely dedicates herself to this character, because the character, those attributes aside, she very so is disconnected but devoted at the same time. She's devoted to her craft and doing what she's doing. She's devoted to her mom and listen to whatever her mom tells her to do. But everything else is a complete disconnect. She avoids conversation. She avoids parties and engagements. There's a very opening scene that happens where she sees somebody like outside of her window. She just goes and runs and avoids it. That goes back and plays on to the storyline later on, because another actress that's in this one, who's a very good actress, in Fiona Shaw, who I love in Killing Eve, plays the role of Elizabeth. She also has a very interesting connection with the character Mary. Now, what did I think about the cinematography and iconography? I think the cinematography was okay. I think that they definitely had some really good shots that were out on the beach. It definitely felt very natural. It didn't feel like a lot of the shots were kind of picked out. It more so felt like they were like, okay, we're gonna go, depending on the day, and we're gonna shoot this point in England from this vantage point, from the shot, from the beach, and from these two characters' perspective, but more so on Kate Winslet's character. I think it was okay. It wasn't anything eye-catching to me. The soundtrack really wasn't that notable either. I think the ambient noises and the sound design was actually pretty good. I think the costume design was actually pretty on target. It didn't seem like it was too, you know, upkeepy. It seemed like it was, I don't know, it seemed really authentic. It didn't seem like it was like them too dressing it up or making it too dingy. It was very much so in this in-between point. Now, the acting. It's weird. I felt like Ronan, in her character Charlotte, kind of took a sidestep to the side of the character Mary that was played by Kate Winslet. I think she did a good performance, but I know what she's capable of as an actress. And I mean, she's a what, 4-time Oscar nominated actress, and it's not that this performance is bad. No, like, it actually, a big part of the engagements and things that are happening are literally focused in on her. One big thing that I haven't brought up is this is a very sexual, sensual, and this is a rated R film. That's all I'm really gonna say. They go places with this, from the different sexual interactions that I didn't think that they would go, and they are relentless. Like, they don't hold back whatsoever. Like, at certain points, I was kind of like uncomfortable because I was like, they went for it. From an acting standpoint, they went for it. It's not like they held back. From the relational side, like their chemistry and their relationship side of things, of where things go, they do not hold back. Like, their acting, they go for it. Like, it's not even a joke. Matter of fact, the mannerisms, this is where I have to say that Kate Winslet shines. The mannerism, the pent up frustrations, everything that's going on with her nonverbals are excellently executed. Like, she does things with her eyes and her face and her mannerisms, and you can just tell different things. You can tell moments of frustration and anger. You can tell, you know, desire and need and yearning. You can tell brokenness and hopelessness. Like, from just her nonverbals. She don't even have to say anything. Like, it's just, she's that talented of an actress. There's one scene, and really, honestly, it's not that deep, but it shows how amazing of an actress she really is, where she's having this interaction with Ronan's character, Charlotte, and they just kind of have open conversation or whatever, and it seems like it's okay, and one word comes out of the character Charlotte's mouth, and like, the one scene, it's the same exact shot, but you can see the wellingness in her eyes, Kate Winslet's eyes, and it just goes. And I was like, it wasn't even like tears dropping, it was an emotion. It was an emotional reaction. And that is hard to actually capture without it being a jump cut. This was the same as that scene. And I'm looking at this because I was like, this woman is talented. It's amazing to see what they can do with it. Now, as far as the story, it felt like, man, I don't want to compare it to Portrait of a Lady on Fire, but it definitely picks up certain threads from that. But Portrait of a Lady on Fire, be honest with you, did it better. I don't even know any way to put it. Even the ending to me, they left it really, you know, ambiguous and open, but it was like really rushed and cookie cutter and unbelievable, and it lost its weight as opposed to really just going for it. And I'm not sure if that's what Francis Lee was trying to do with the execution of this film, but it lost weight for me, even though the very last shot was a pivotal and important shot, and I understood it. For me, I would give this maybe a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10. I think that the execution of the acting is there. There's something there as far as what the story is really trying to say. The problem is that the execution behind it, it's fleeting. Again, I hate to compare it, but A Portrait of a Lady on Fire, from a cinematography standpoint, was amazing. The sound design for A Portrait of a Lady on Fire was literally the brushings of like the drawings, like, and the waves. And this has similarities, that there's even a scene, like a drawing scene, this is not that, unfortunately. And if you really want to see something amazing, I would recommend, like, from a 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10, whatever you want to call it, Portrait of a Lady on Fire is that. So I'd highly recommend you definitely check that out if you find any semblance of enjoyment of this one. And I think that the performances of that are just as strong, if not stronger, than this one. So I highly recommend you definitely go and check out that movie. But let me know what your thoughts are on this once you go and see it. Ammonite. Yeah. I think that Kate could possibly get a nomination off of it. I think from her nonverbals and her, the way that she carried her character, I think that it could. Let me know what you guys think. Keep it locked. JVS Wingstop. Peace, guys.